This is the process shot. I'm Michael. I'm trapped in a movie theater, but I think there's something in the air here that's affecting my head. The Boxer's Omen is a hallucination directed by Kuei Chih-Hung back in 1983. It follows Chih-Hung as he seeks revenge against a boxer who has severely injured his brother. Before he can do this, though, he must assist a Buddhist abbot in achieving immortality by releasing him from a terrible curse cast upon him by a black magic practitioner. Chih-Hung becomes a monk himself and partakes in a series of mystical fights to secure not only the abbot's immortality, but his own mortality, for the two are linked. He does eventually get around to fighting that other boxer, though. As you can guess, the primary story of the film is kind of a bait and switch, suggesting a story about a boxer training to avenge his brother, only to become something completely unrelated. The whole story in general is pretty weakly structured, in that scenes just tend to happen one after the other without a very consistent flow. At times, the story is interrupted by flashbacks, fight scenes, or other extended cutaways that serve more as exposition than anything stronger. And even the story scenes that we do end up getting are generally direct to the point, less about building character and more about setting up the next scene or location. It's pretty clear that the film isn't focused on having a traditional story or narrative to follow, simply because of how little there is. So, what is The Boxer's Omen all about then? The mysticism, the fight scenes, and making it all look cool, it seems. There are only a handful of fight scenes throughout the movie between Chih-Hung and the enemies of the abbots and monks, but the scenes are given an extensive amount of time to play out, from the first strike to the final blow. Furthermore, the fights are treated in a very creative and stylized manner, much different from the story scenes, which are far more naturally shot. The fights use bright lights and heavy contrasts to separate the living elements from the background settings, or to even put the fighters in what seems like a void. Furthermore, using opposing color palettes to fully separate good and evil. The choreography of the fights is tightly done, with little focus on realism and character movement, and more on action and reaction, so to speak. When one character punches or blocks another, the other reacts immediately, sort of. In any case, the other standout of these scenes is the exaggerated magic and power expressed in these fights, which truly removes the film from any sort of grounded reality and brings it deep into the realm of fantasy. It's enough to make clear that this is why the movie was made, or at least this is where all the money went. The Boxer's Omen isn't meant to be anything deep or truly adventurous, it seems. It's essentially a series of fight scenes, fighting moves, and general oddness, with a loose story to pretend that things are tied together. But it's easy to see where the film's intentions for being made lie. That's not to say that it's pointless outside of the fights and stylized scenes, but more that it's not pretending that it wants to be something more. It knows where it wants to go, and it settles itself in rather comfortably. And that's pretty much all it wants to be. Also, it wants to be crazy as hell, and it does that too. So I guess it accomplishes both goals? I don't know. The Boxer's Omen. Kuei Chih-Hung, 1983. 3 stars. But you ought to watch it when you can. That's it for this review. If you like this video, then please leave a like, and feel free to leave a comment at your convenience. Subscribe if you want to see more reviews. After watching this movie, I don't think I'll be making any Buddhists mad anytime soon. Seems unwise.